What happens when a hopelessly romantic dog falls for his best friend's wife? Chaos, that's what. Every time Brian tried to sleep with Lois, it was a mix of smooth talk, awkward vibes, and total disaster. You'd think a talking dog would know better, but nope. Let's dive into his most cringe-worthy, facepalm-worthy moments. Lois was chilling on the couch with the kids, doing the usual TV and parenting combo. That's when Brian barged in like he just won the Nobel Prize for dog writing.
Lois, look at this. My essay won first prize in the New England Rising Writers Contest. I'm gonna be honored at the big ceremony on Martha's Vineyard.
And just like that, Brian became the first dog to get this full of himself over an essay. Someone get this guy a mirror and a scarf. Stewie, of course, couldn't let the moment slide without roasting Brian. But Brian, he was on cloud 9, bragging like he just discovered electricity.
But they're gonna put me up at a luxury hotel, all expenses paid.
Wow! Congratulations, Brian!
Brian, achieving big things nobody asked for since forever. Stewie laughed, Lois fake clapped, and Brian floated off on his ego cloud. Meanwhile, Lois had some wholesome couple plans with Peter. You know, normal stuff like reconnecting. But guess what Peter did?
Hello?
Lois, this is Peter. I'm afraid that on my way to the bedroom to change, I took ill. You'd best go to lunch without me.
Ah yes, the mysterious sudden illness, also known as hanging out with the boys instead. Classic Peter move. Cancel plans with a fake excuse so dumb it hurts. But Lois, ever the hopeful wife, planned another weekend date. And Peter, surprise, he ghosted again. Brian, noticing the drama growing thicker than Peter's skull, chimed in.
So, a lot of tension with Peter lately, huh?
Ugh, that's an understatement, Brian. He's been incredibly thoughtless lately, even more so than usual. But tonight is our night.
When sex night turns into Beekeeper Boys Club, you know it's over. Peter's love language is clearly honey and abandonment. And yep, Peter ditched her again. Why? For beekeeping. Not joking. And when Lois confronted him,
I don't need honey, Peter. I need a husband who wants to spend time with me.
Peter mistaking bees for bonding time since the dawn of stupidity. Lois dropped truth bombs while Peter probably wondered if syrup counted as love. Brian, stuck watching this emotional ping-pong match, decided to throw in a solution that didn't involve bees or emotional neglect.
All you two have done is argue about stuff for the past 2 weeks. It's my guess you could use a vacation. Why don't you come out to Martha's Vineyard and watch me accept my award?
Because nothing says healing your marriage like watching a talking dog get a trophy. But hey, free trip. So with Mr. Herbert, aka the neighborhood creep, watching the kids, because why not, they went off on the romantic getaway. Lois saw their room and lit up like it was prom night.
Brian, this is wonderful. I feel like one of the Kennedys.
Hopefully not the ones with the tragic endings, Lois. Let's keep it cheerful. While Brian and Lois were trying to soak up the relaxation, Peter did what Peter does best, ruin the vibe. This time he was pretending to be a shark in the water.
Peter, will you knock that off? It's getting annoying.
All right, fine. I'm gonna go scare some people.
Nobody will buy it. There are no sharks out here.
Peter Griffin, the only man-child who brings Jaws energy to a romantic retreat. Shark Week just got dumber. Later at Brian's big award ceremony, guess who was missing? Yep, Peter. Lois was clearly disappointed, but Brian was living for it.
Well, you're here, Lois. That's enough for me.
Oh, you always know just what to say.
Brian, shooting his shot with the subtlety of a wrecking ball. Lois flattered, but dangerously close to swooning. Then came the real kicker. Brian got on stage and read a poem. But it wasn't just any poem, it was about Lois. Yep, he went full poet dog mode.
Oh, that was beautiful, Brian.
Well, you know what they say. Write what's in your heart.
Brian's heart apparently reads like a romance novel. Lois was touched. Peter was somewhere, probably petting bees. While Peter wandered aimlessly, Lois and Brian turned the trip into a duo date. They did all the cute couple activities, minus the whole being an actual couple part.
Oh, I had so much fun today, Brian.
So did I. Hey, you feel like grabbing something to eat?
Oh, I'd love to.
Great. Now Brian's turning this awards trip into a honeymoon. Peter who? Later, Brian walked out of the movie shop looking like he just had a dramatic realization, which, let's be honest, he probably did.
Oh, this is gonna be great. A whole evening with Lois. We are gonna have such a fun time. Lois, my darling!
Nothing creepy here. Just a dog casually calling your wife darling in public. Totally normal. Back in the room, Lois handed him some food in a bag, being nice as usual. That's when Brian went full Disney Channel confession mode.
You know, Lois, I'm sure you've already figured this out, but that essay I wrote it about you.
Oh, I had a hunch.
Brian, confessing feelings like he's in a rom-com, not a family vacation with his best friend's wife. Lois, queen of ignoring red flags. And then he just kept going. Like, really going.
Well, you know, Lois, you mean a lot to me. I mean, things you say and things you do resonate with me in a big way.
Resonate? Someone's been reading way too much thesaurus.com. Meanwhile, Lois looks like she's wondering if room service delivers restraining orders. Embrace yourself. Brian went completely off the rails and made his move. Spoiler, it did not go well.
Oh my God, Brian, no! No, stop it! What are you doing?
I can't help myself, Lois. I know you're married to Peter, but I love you and I can't stand it anymore.
Brian, no! No! Get down! Get down!
Yikes, from Shakespeare to full-on soap opera meltdown in 60 seconds? Brian's heart said love. Lois's face said, get off me, weirdo. Eventually, Lois had to spill the tea to Peter, and Peter, not known for his subtlety, went straight to confront Brian.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Oh, you're a freaking train wreck with that crap, Brian. You couldn't even get Jillian to take you back, and she was dumber than Lou Ferrigno.
When Peter Griffin calls your love life a disaster, you've truly hit rock bottom. So there you have it. Brian's romantic delusions crashed harder than Peter's fake shark act. From award-winning writer to desperate dog in one Martha's Vineyard weekend, Brian learned that poetry doesn't make inappropriate advances any less creepy. But don't worry, this wasn't Brian's last attempt at wooing Lois. Next up, watch him turn single parenting duties into another golden opportunity to play house with his best friend's wife. At the start of the episode, Peter and Lois divide their stuff. Peter stumbles upon his ancient video game and tells Chris he's waited 30 years to show it to him. Chris, being Chris, couldn't care less.
This game sucks!
What are you talking about?
What universe does this even take place in? Everything needs to take place in a universe!
It's a warehouse with ladders where a monkey took a girl.
Nothing like crushing 30 years of hype in under 30 seconds. Way to bond, Chris. Chris calls the game boring and suggests recreating it in real life. Cleveland and Quagmire pull up chairs to watch the chaos, with Quagmire throwing in a jab.
Looks like a Donkey Kong house.
What a mess. Want a beer?
Yes, sir.
Quagmire's moral support. Beer and insults. True friendship. Lois, annoyed by the racket, comes out to investigate, but chaos ensues.
What is all this noise? I'm trying to buy everything on Amazon in here.
Barrel!
Ah! My foot! Oh, I think it's broken.
Nothing like Amazon therapy being interrupted by a rogue barrel. Thanks, Peter. With her foot broken, Lois tells Peter he has to care for the kids. Peter's confidence is less than inspiring.
Look, now don't worry. It's just a week, and taking care of kids is not that hard.
The Facebook status of every girl I went to high school with would disagree. Plus, you know I'm not very good at taking care of things.
The self-awareness is refreshing, Peter, but also terrifying. Peter's first attempt at breakfast goes as expected. A complete disaster.
No, I'm doing great. Look, I already got Stewie and Brian changed.
Ow.
Okay, maybe I'm having a little trouble. But I'm a dad. The only thing I know how to use is a shop vac.
Breakfast, more like a survival challenge. At a cafe, Peter gets special treatment for being a single dad and milks the situation shamelessly.
No, she's not with us.
Oh my, she's dead? I'm so sorry.
Oh, actually...
Is there anything else I can bring you? We make a great homemade banana cream pie. It's on the house.
Who knew fake widowhood came with free dessert? Classy, Peter. At the bar, Peter tells his friends how much he's enjoying the sympathy perks.
You know, I thought this week was gonna suck, but everywhere I go, people are super helpful and nice.
That's because you're a dad alone. That's the closest thing people get to seeing a hero.
Lois was ringing her bell like some Victorian drama queen, clearly needing something. But instead of Peter showing up like a decent husband, in walked Brian, tail wagging and ego fully loaded.
Need something, Lois?
No, I just need the Apple TV remote.
Well, I am great at fetch.
Yeah, just the remote, please.
Whoa. Did you feel that?
Brian heard remote and immediately translated that into romantic opportunity. Calm down, Romeo. It's not that kind of bell service. Lois, completely unfazed, just wanted her remote. But Brian, nope. He was busy turning a broken foot and a doggy delivery into his next slow-burn romance novel.
You know, caregiver and patient. A strong bond develops. Intimacy.
Oh, maybe. Our fingers did touch when you handed me that remote.
Brian was really out here, making accidental hand contact sound like a wedding proposal. Lois was giving him zero encouragement, but in his mind, sparks were flying. Delusion, 100. Awareness, 0. Lois, probably half amused and half ready to throw something, decided to mess with him a bit. She asked for a sponge bath like it was totally normal Tuesday stuff. Brian jumped on the task faster than Peter on a plate of free bacon.
Why don't you start down by my cast?
Oh, God, your leg is covered in hair.
The That's right. I can't shave down there because the cast will get wet. Look at it. Smell it.
No!
And there it was, the mood killer of all mood killers. Brian went from flirty caregiver to traumatized dog in 2 seconds. Nothing says not sexy like being told to sniff someone's cast hair jungle. Lois, finally tired of Brian's weak attempts at seduction, went full savage. She threw down some cold, harsh truth like a boss.
This English patient enough for you?
I don't know, I never saw it!
Every door you walk through isn't a scenario you've typed into the search bar of Pornhub. This is real life, and it stinks.
Lois won. Brian emotionally destroyed. She basically shut down every fantasy he had going, all while dragging his browser history through the mud. And honestly, she didn't lie. But Lois wasn't done yet. No, she wanted Brian to remember exactly where he stood in this house, and it wasn't as some hot Florence Nightingale.
Every 90 minutes, I'm gonna ring this bell, and you're gonna come in and take out a bowl of my waste. If that's us forming a strong bond.
And boom, Brian got promoted to poop bowl duty. In the park, Peter impresses strangers by changing Stewie's diaper. A woman invites him to her house, claiming their kids need to play together.
Those two seem to be getting along well.
Yeah. So how long have you had a pet cloud?
That's a skylight.
Smooth, Peter. Insult the architecture while mooching food. Peter and that woman were hitting it off like old friends at a free buffet. Meanwhile, Stewie and her kid were playing together, oblivious to the awkward adult dynamics.
You know, we could make this a regular thing. It'll take the pressure off us having to entertain them.
Classic. 2 slackers pretending this is about the kids. Peter and the woman Becky hit it off. Peter's enjoying the free meals, but Becky takes things further and kisses him.
I don't know what to do. I guess lying about having a dead wife to eat popcorn wasn't the best idea.
That's a nice story, Peter.
Who knew dead wife was such a successful pickup line? Becky shows up at Peter's house uninvited, offering to cook dinner. Peter panics as Stewie and Brian see her.
What's going on? Who's this?
You didn't tell me you had a dog.
He's very close to being put down. I didn't want you to get attached.
Peter's lies are evolving faster than Becky's red flags. At dinner, Chris mentions their mom, triggering another round of Peter creative excuses.
Mom's calling.
I told them every time a bell rings, that's their mom saying hello. Help, saying help. She died very painfully. Pardonnez-moi.
Even for Peter, that's impressively dark and stupid. Lois, determined to uncover the truth, hobbles downstairs. Becky's there holding Stewie, and Lois is not amused.
Peter said you were dead.
Dead? I am not dead. I was just recovering from foot surgery, so I put him in charge of the kids. Now, what the hell happened?
Eating pad?
I cannot believe this, Peter. You've been lying to me?
Busted. But not even Peter's charm or lack of it can save him now. Becky accuses Lois of being careless, but Peter makes a rare, heartfelt declaration to smooth things over.
It's that all mothers are heroes. And the biggest hero I know is the one I'm lucky enough to call my wife.
Oh, Peter, that almost cancels out everything you've done.
Almost cancels out. Let's not get carried away, Lois. And that's how Peter turned single parenting into a full-time con job, complete with fake death stories and free pie. While Brian was busy playing nurse to Lois's hairy leg cast, Peter was out there proving that lying about dead wives is apparently a marketable skill. But Brian's nursing fantasies were just amateur hour compared to his next move. Wait until you see him turn bathroom emergencies into love confessions. Lois came downstairs one morning, probably expecting the usual chaos. Instead, she spotted something even worse, a pee stain on the carpet. She immediately assumed it was Stewie doing his usual diaper-free rebellion.
Oh, Lois, again?
That baby just does not want to keep his diaper on.
Here you are. What the hell is this?
Sweetie, that's tuna salad.
Brian, being the shady genius he is, tried blaming Stewie while casually tossing in the old, "That's just tuna salad" excuse. Nothing suspicious about that at all, just a puddle of salad on the floor. But spoiler alert, it wasn't Stewie. That night, Brian struck again. This time, mid-pee panic mode kicked in as he tried to clean up his mess like a dog on a mission.
Oh, God, not again, Brian. Why can't you stop peeing on the carpet? Damn it, it's not coming out.
Brian, the sophisticated writer and wine snob, reduced to scrubbing his own accidents like a misbehaving puppy. The irony practically mopped the floor itself. Upstairs, Lois woke up from the noise because nothing says peaceful night like mystery carpet pee.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. I'll be up in a minute.
Translation, I just wet the rug like a toddler and I'm panic washing the shame away. Don't ask questions. The next day, Lois walked in on Brian doing laundry. Nothing strange, right? Wrong. Brian doing chores voluntarily? That's a red flag wrapped in fabric softener.
Those look like our sheets and our quilt.
They are. I'm washing them in some fabric softener because last night they were so itchy I couldn't sleep, which is why I was downstairs when you asked me if everything was okay and I said I couldn't sleep.
Wow, he really came prepared with that excuse. Too bad it sounded like he wrote it while drunk on guilt and detergent. Later, the whole gang was at the grocery store, minding their business, when suddenly, splash zone alert. A familiar trickling sound caught everyone's attention.
You're urinating. So it's been you all along. Oh, this is too perfect. I've been taking the blame for Rex.
Ew, it's everywhere.
Busted in public. Brian turned the grocery aisle into a disaster zone, and Stewie couldn't have been happier to clear his name. After that humiliation, Brian was shipped off to a psychologist. Time to fix the wet dog issues. But while Brian was gone, Stewie got revenge by peeing everywhere. Petty? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. Of course, Brian ended up back at the doctor's office, now soaking in even more confusion. He started explaining the usual nonsense like he was giving a TED talk on why pets act weird.
Oh, I'm using my special cat power to get Batman all wet. Meow. Meow.
You know, just the usual stuff. Wait a minute, all that running water, that's gotta be it.
And there it was, Brian blaming Batman, cats, and plumbing instead of owing up to his own emotional leakage. Classic therapy dodge. Then the doctor asked about Lois. Suddenly, Brian transformed into a poet. A creepy, lovesick poet with zero boundaries.
Lois. Well, she's a fantastic woman. She's compassionate and charming, attractive, well, stunning, really. I guess you could say I really love her.
Yikes, that escalated fast. From pee problems to full-blown love confession, dog brain, meet midlife crisis. The doctor doing his job asked the obvious follow-up. Do you love her? Brian, of course, lied through his poetic little teeth.
I mean, come on, she's my best friend's wife. Look, I love Lois, but I'm not in love with her.
Ah, yes, the classic I love her, but not like that line. Sure, Brian, that tale says otherwise. Back at home, Lois and Brian were watching TV, pretending everything was normal. But Brian's tale, that thing was having a moment of its own.
It's okay. That breeze feels good. It's so warm in here. Ooh. That's better.
I'd take my sweater off, but I'm afraid it's attached to my skin.
Brian's tail was wagging like crazy while he nervously faked small talk. Meanwhile, Lois stayed blissfully unaware that she was the lead character in Brian's personal soap opera. In the end, Brian's bathroom accidents were just the tip of the iceberg. Turns out his real problem was a different kind of inappropriate behavior. From carpet stains to emotional confessions, Brian managed to make everyone uncomfortable while learning absolutely nothing about boundaries. Speaking of boundaries, our next story finds Brian reading Lois's private writing and somehow thinking that makes him Sherlock Holmes of suburban romance. Brian's love for Lois isn't just sad, it's embarrassing. This is the story of one of the most cringe attempts to go from family dog to homewrecker. It all started when Lois joined a women's writing group. You'd think this would be about friendship and creativity, but nope, this is Family Guy after all.
It's Creative Writing Workshop.
Ooh, ladies.
Ah, the safe space of women bonding over their stories, until it turns into a low-budget romance novel fest. Buckle up. Dawn is asked to read hers, but she didn't write anything, and the consequences are brutal.
Hey, Donna, you want to read yours?
Oh, I didn't do mine.
Well, then you can't have any more snacks.
Rules are simple. No story, no snacks. That's how you keep suburban moms motivated. Cookies and passive aggression. Lois jumps in to read her piece, and it's surprisingly spicy for something written during nap time.
Louise lowered her velvet hood, letting loose her flowing red hair. He grabbed her, tighter than she'd ever been held before. Louise's bosom heaved.
Ah yes, the classic heaving bosom. Lois's neighbors are eating it up like it's 50 Shades on PTA night. They're one line away from fanning themselves. One of the women reacts in awe, clearly not expecting Lois to bring this level of drama to a living room.
Damn, that's steamy, Lois.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Lois was hoping for feedback. What she got was flustered faces and a room full of moms pretending they don't read smut under their covers.
A Stable Affair by Lois Griffin.
Ah yes, nothing says respectable suburban mom like a title that screams daytime soap opera energy. Later, Brian finds the manuscript and reads it like it's sacred scripture.
Lois is writing a romance novel about a woman who is unhappy with her husband and begins to have a torrid affair with a caped lover who has horses.
Of course he does, because this dog's got boundary issues the size of a horse barn. Brian gets a wild idea.
This could finally be my key to...
What? Banging my mom?
Stewie with the verbal snipe, the only one in this show who ever says what the audience is thinking, and it hurts every time. Brian later spots someone who looks just like the character from the book.
It's the guy, Horatio, from Lois's book. She's fantasizing about having an affair with this guy.
Or who knows, maybe even is having an affair with him.
Brian spots some random guy at the store and instantly loses it. One glance at a cape and a horse and the dog goes full jealous X. So naturally, Brian follows her to the stables, because that's normal.
Lois, don't do it!
Brian?
Don't have sex with Horatio. It's not worth it.
In front of everyone, in broad daylight, Brian pulls the romantic comedy airport scene. Lois is furious and honestly, fair.
Wait, let me get this straight. You, without asking, read something I wrote? Then thinking I was revealing all my most intimate wants and desires, you thought that you could exploit what you read to seduce me?
Lois just served Brian a 3-course meal of shame, guilt, and reality. Then she reveals the twist.
Brian, this is Horatio. He's special. He's learning disabled.
Plot twist. Horatio isn't a mystery lover. He's a man who thinks Darth Vader is his boss and likes horses more than people. Horatio proudly introduces himself.
I like Coldplay.
And there it is. The line that says, no, Brian, you're not losing Lois to a fantasy. You're just completely delusional, which makes it crystal clear.
Yes, I have fantasies about him dominating me with his idiot strength, but it's just that, a fantasy. That's why I wrote it in a story, because I knew that I would never act on it.
Translation. Calm down, lassie. It's called fiction. Look it up before you drag a baby to a horse stable like a lunatic. Brian tries to apologize.
Lois, I'm truly sorry for what I thought. It all just made sense to me at the time, but now that I see what it is, I'm ashamed of myself.
Brian finally gets it. Way too late. He read her diary, acted on it, caused chaos, and brought a toddler to a confrontation. Maybe next time just write a poem like a normal weirdo. Brian's detective work led him straight to Embarrassment City. Population, him. After stalking Lois to a horse stable and accusing her of affairs with learning disabled Coldplay fans, Brian finally discovers the difference between fiction and reality. But if you think Brian learned his lesson about crossing lines, think again. Next time he'll try playing doctor with 0 medical training and maximum creepiness. Lois was sitting there peacefully on the couch, trying to enjoy a quiet moment, when out of nowhere, Stewie comes running like a wild animal and attacks her like a hungry alien, desperate for food.
All right, whip 'em out, woman. It's time for the afternoon meal.
My goodness, Stewie, I guess you're hungry. Honey, not so rough this time. Mommy's very sore.
This is one of those only on Family Guy moments, where a baby basically demands milk like a rude little alien invader. And poor Lois, she's sore and just trying to survive the chaos. Lois tries to calm him down, wanting some respect as a mom, but Stewie, ever the tiny savage, makes it super clear that whatever this is, it's not romantic. Lois is not that special.
And by the way, let's be clear, I only like you as a friend.
Stewie pulling the ultimate friend zone card on his own mother. Also, did we forget he's still a baby? Because he sounds like a dramatic ex here. Later, Brian's just chilling, watching TV like he owns the place, when Lois walks in, clearly uncomfortable, buttoning up her shirt and wincing from pain. So Brian, being nosy as usual, asks what's going on.
I was breastfeeding Stewie and he bit me again. I think he might have even broken the skin.
I see. Maybe I should, look at it. I have seen a lot of medical shows.
Classic Brian move, pretending he's being helpful, but clearly aiming for something else. And Lois somehow believes this 4-legged doctor watched enough Grey's Anatomy to help. Brian thinks this is his golden moment, like all his weird fantasies are finally coming true. And Lois, bless her cluelessness, starts telling him more about the problem.
You see, the areola is very tender here, and I think one of his new teeth may have bitten down right on the duct.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't know what to do, Brian. Breastfeeding's just so painful since Stewie's teeth are coming in.
Brian's acting like Dr. House, but let's be real. He heard areola and stopped listening. And just when you think he can't get creepier, Brian decides to push it even further, asking if there are other areas she wants him to examine. Like it's totally normal to offer this while standing in the living room.
Any other problems you have, too, like, for example, around your underpants that you want me to take a look at, I could take a look at that, too.
Huh?
Please pull down your underpants.
Yep, there it is, the full creep moment. Brian somehow thinks saying underpants twice will make it sound more medical and less like a crime. The next day, Lois tries to do the right thing and finally decides it's time to stop breastfeeding Stewie, so she prepares a bottle. But Stewie isn't having it. He's already climbing at her like it's feeding time at the zoo.
No, honey, no. Tonight we're gonna have formula instead.
Ah! Oh, that's more disgusting than when Peter went through that Daisy Dukes phase.
Formula might be good for babies, but to Stewie, it's basically poison. He'd rather drink straight from the source than touch that bottle. Lois really tries to stay strong, but like every tired mom ever, she gives in. She walks over to Stewie, bottle forgotten, ready to give him what he really wants, and Stewie, He reacts like a full-on milk addict who just relapsed.
Brian, I thought I was ready to wean him, but I just missed the bonding.
No, put me down! I beg of you! I just kicked the stuff! Damn you! You sick, twisted... I hate you! I love it.
This is Stewie at his most dramatic. One second he's begging for help like he's being dragged into rehab. The next second he's loving every drop. Even he knows how twisted this whole relationship is. So Brian went from wannabe TV doctor to creepy underpants inspector in record time, while Stewie continued his love-hate relationship with dinner. Brian's attempts may be a mess, but they're the kind of mess we can't stop watching. Love, loyalty, and a whole lot of awkward. Classic Family Guy. Want more wild moments like this? Hit that follow for your next laugh.